Hello everybody, just in case you've been living under a rock, Overwatch has launched, and instead of just talking about the game, like I would normally do, I'm going to ask you guys a lot of questions. I want to have a conversation with you guys about Overwatch and kind of see how you're enjoying it, how you're playing it. I've got questions, lots of questions. However, before we get into that, I think Blizzard deserves some recognition. For the first time ever, they haven't botched a launch of a game. This was actually really surprising. Everybody I was talking to that I was going to play the game with were like, yeah, we'll be on an hour after they say the thing's going to launch, because then we'll probably wait another 30 minutes and then the game will be working. And it's like, well, I mean, they beta tested for a reason, and they did a pretty good job during that. So I was assuming that it was going to work. Thankfully, I was not proven wrong. I had faith in them, and they did it. So they launched worldwide on consoles and on PC all at the same time, which is a feat within itself. Let's just point that out. I mean, that's actually a very hard thing to do and not have it break. Well, they did that, and as far as I know, the servers were up right away, or at least the Xbox was. The PS4 came up shortly after. The only problems on the console was the Xbox was having some issues with being able to enter parties or something like that, and they fixed that fairly quickly. That being said, on the PC, we actually had no issues at all, except that the servers came up like 30 minutes late. It was like 25 minutes, and then they were finally up. And once they were up, smooth sailing. And I think we all need to give like Blizzard a round of applause, because they launched the game worldwide on both PC and consoles. Yes, I know the servers are different, but then they also made sure that nothing was really that broken. There's been like small, tiny little things here and there where it's like authentication errors when you're like leaving a game, so it doesn't put you into another game. It just re-queues you into another one instead of playing with the same people. It's like minor stuff that is actually of little issue, because I mean, if you're playing a party anyways, it's just going to re-queue you regardless. So anyways, that being said, I'm really proud of what they've managed to do with that. It is difficult work, you trust me on that. So, that being said, I want to know what kind of characters you're playing, because most of you may have played in the open beta, and in the open beta, I pretty much can guarantee that you found the character that you thought you were going to like, and you played them a lot, and then you're like, okay, cool, let's try somebody new, and you kind of dabbled a bit, but you never really got good at a lot of people if you played in the open beta. If you played in the closed beta, chances are you're like me and you kind of found your niche, and you went with that for a while. Well, since the game launched, I've decided to kind of get good at the people that I'm bad at. So I've been trying Hanzo and Genji a lot because I suck at them. And you know what? After a few hours of playing Hanzo and like forcing myself to kind of get good with them, it's gotten a lot better. I used to not be able to hit anything, and now I can hit like 60% of the stuff, and that's a big improvement, trust me, over where I was before with him. Like Pharah is probably one of my best characters. Lucio's up there as well. Reinhardt, Winston, like those characters are I'm good at, because I'm good at the play style. I'm good at being really aggressive, and Pharah's really good if you're fairly aggressive with her and you try to like flank the enemy. And so is Reinhardt. When people are in your face, instead of just shielding up, you actually get really aggressive. You start hitting them with your hammer. Winston, you want to like jump forward and really get behind the enemy and jump on their snipers and really disrupt the team. So I'm really good with the aggressive characters, or at least I tend to be. And Hanzo, while he can be aggressive, is he's a sniper. He's more of a ranged character. Plus, I suck at sniping. Like, that's the bottom line here. I suck at sniping, so I needed to get better at it. Why Hanzo, you say? Well, I don't really like Widowmaker, and she's the easier of the two, so I had assumed that if I got good at Hanzo, I could then be good at Widowmaker. Turns out I'm completely wrong. I tried to get good at Hanzo, and now I can't hit anything as Widowmaker, because I'm so used to playing Pharah and Hanzo now that I'm used to heck, even Lucio, I'm used to the projectile speed. So I'm used to having to lead the target, and with Hanzo kind of like aiming up a bit. And because of that, I just, I can't hit anything with Widowmaker. I'm not used to how she plays. And again, I'm going to probably have to play her for a few hours and get good with her. So I want to know, what characters have you been playing and you've been trying to get good with? What characters are you enjoying? What characters aren't you're not necessarily good at, but you're enjoying to play? Or what characters are you looking at getting better with? Because everybody has their own. You know, you've got the Junkrats, you've got the Roadhogs, you have the Symmetra players, you know, you've got like all of these people who play different characters because they, you know, speak to them in different ways, or they are wanting to play competitively, so they're playing like the characters that have a lot of utility, like Zarya. But what are you playing? I want to know what you're playing, and let me know why you're playing it. Are you getting better at them? Are you trying to like combo ults? Or are you trying to combo character comps with your buddies? One of the fun character comps that, you know, the people I play with are doing, we call it the Killdozer, or Protect the President. And it's not an uncommon strategy, but you put a Bastion on offense on a payload map. You put the Bastion on top of the payload with 2 Reinhardts protecting it, and you protect the President. The Bastion just sits on the thing, kills everybody that comes, and the 2 Reinhardts make sure that they stay alive. And you have a Mercy buffing it, so that the damage of the Bastion is excessive, to say the least. So it's like, you know, what kind of comps are you coming up with? I want to know. I want to know. And did you buy any of the loot crates? That's another thing I'm really curious about. Personally, I didn't. And the reason why is because I know I'm going to be playing the game and be leveling up a lot, and I'm going to eventually unlock everything. Like, that's just how this is going to work. By the time I hit level 30 in the beta, the second time they wiped, I had pretty much every skin that I wanted. I didn't have all the sprays, but I had every skin that I wanted, and that's all that had mattered to me at the moment. And I had enough coins coming in from duplicate items that I could get all of the highlight intros that I wanted as well. So, did you buy any crates? Because the pricing on them is weird. Let me point that out. I'm not sure about that. It's like 2 crates for $2. Then it's like 5 crates for $4. 10 crates for $9. I don't remember the rest of the pricing, but I do remember the like 50 or the 40 crates for 50 or 50 crates for 40, something like that, which seems a bit excessive. But I mean, if you want that kind of stuff, then sweet. I think at the moment, it's not necessarily worth the purchases, because you can, like I said, you can unlock this stuff fairly quickly. You're going to be leveling up a lot once you get into the game. And always be partying with your friends, because you're going to get additional XP bonuses off of that. But yeah, I don't think at the moment there's enough stuff to warrant getting them. If you're playing in like 5 months, you know, then you might want to, because they'll add a lot more cosmetic stuff and that kind of stuff. But anyways, I just want to know, did you buy any crates? Because that's a really curious thing to me. Finally, I want to know, are you enjoying the game? Because as a person like me, I've been playing the game since November of last year when I got into the closed beta. And I enjoyed the game back then. Then again, I was playing with really, you know, rad people who were making the game fun. And since then, I've continued to play with people that I know. So I'm having a lot of fun with my friends. When I play, like when I'm solo queuing, it's not as fun, because I'm having to deal with people who are new to the game after launch and aren't understanding that the game isn't a team deathmatch, and like having to do the objectives and stuff. So solo queuing is a little bit of a chore. So I tend to typically only play with people. And I want to know, how are you enjoying the game? Are you playing solo? Are you playing with people? If you are playing with people, how many people are you playing against? Are you playing 6v6? You know, do you have enough friends playing that you can actually go against another group of friends? Because I think that's really cool. And finally, like just in general, how are you enjoying the game? What do you think about it? If you think into the future, let's say to the end of the year, are you still going to be playing Overwatch if they keep releasing new maps and new skins and stuff like that, and eventually a character or two? Is this a game that you're going to continue to play, especially if your friends continue to play? All of these things I'm really curious about, because I'm really curious just because the game sold incredibly well. We don't know the numbers as I'm making this video, but we do know that it was so popular that Blizzard had to put a queue on the Battle.net store to get to your cart, because there was so much traffic. It's an anti-DDoSing measure, but we actually haven't really ever seen that before from Blizzard, which means that it's probably been there this entire time, but this is the first time we've encountered it, which is a little crazy. So I'm kind of curious how people are enjoying it, because I know that the game sold really, really well. There was a lot of hype behind it, but is the hype living up to your guys' expectations? I know personally for me, I've really enjoyed the game since, November of last year. I've already said that this is likely to be my game of the year this year, because if the game had come out last year, it was going to be my game of the year. Like, that's how much I wanted Overwatch to be my game of the year last year. So I was already thinking like, well, it's probably going to be it next year. That being said, this year has some really good games. Like Doom, for example, has really surprised me, and I can already tell you is probably going to be on my top list for this year of 2016. So I want to know, is the game living up to the hype for you guys? Because for me, as someone who's already been playing the game, I've already been enjoying it to the point where I kind of know where I land on it, but I want to know where other people land on it. How are you guys feeling about it? With all that being said, if you guys ever encounter me on the ladder where I'm playing, say hi. There's typically only ever one Zenkiki, so it's probably gonna be me if you see it. And yeah, if you encounter me, say hi, and we might get some games in together. With all that being said, though, we shall see you guys next time.